Alright guys, this is the Star Cup shot guide. Starting off with Daisy Circuit, there really isn't any true beneficial shock point in this particular course. You've got the classic stairway shortcut, which if you do zap somebody and they don't have any protection, it'll slow them down, but it's off-road anyway, so most of the time they're going to go through it with Uber. You can't really see it on the mini-map where it's at. You can see the people going around you, but it's really hard to tell. And unless someone can give you a heads up when they see somebody going through it, then it's probably not worth using a lightning there. So you really can't see nothing there. The only other real good point that it could be used for is after the last item box on the end of the third lap, or after the second lap. Just whoever it is in first, after they get that last item, you can go ahead and shock it and take it from them. Just a suggestion. Now this part is pretty cool because if you shock them in the tunnel, see, you can get some mushrooms, you can get some other goodies that they may have left behind if you have them all clumped together. But aside from that, nothing really going on in Daisy Circuit. Koopa Cape has this classic first jump, which you have to still do the timing right before to nail it. Of course, single player you have to be dead on spot, but it's actually easier to target shock people on this course when it is online as opposed to one player. You can also get them going over this hill, or this little jump, but that is another one that is better done when you see them in front of you, and should probably be done whenever one lightning has already been used and it's towards the end. This one, you can shock people in the tunnel. It kind of, if you catch them right, they can spin into a zapper. Not really one that you want to work for. This one, the main one up here, is the easiest one, but it's also the most predictable. As we saw in the previous scrimmages, people were predicting our third lap shocks, so this is, you obviously wouldn't be able to do this shock until the second lap, or the third. But it's pretty easy. You just got to be sure to watch them when they're doing it online, right when they get to the very edge, shock them, and then they'll spin right on off. But that one actually isn't too hard to nail. If the system would actually put them back up on this part instead of putting them on the part that you're trying to jump to, it'd make it a hell of a lot more beneficial, but it puts them forward. Sometimes it puts them behind, which those are the better shocks, but that one doesn't. See, right here, just the same thing. Basically, I'm going to get up there up to the front and show you what it looks like when you zap them just right, because if you zap them too soon, then the speed boost can just shoot them off. See, like right here, Toad, I got him there, but you'll see it in just a second. Sometimes you'll shock them too soon, and then they'll still get the boost, and it'll shoot them over. Again, right here, not really recommended unless you can see someone taking that jump. That one's actually pretty easy to nail if you're able to witness it, but the stupid computer doesn't take it very frequently, and I get somebody here at the last second, right there. But that's about the extent of Koopa Cape. Not a great shot course. This one, if you're sandbagging, the recommended way is to just go ahead and take the shortcut to get off-road. And I think I do a third player shock, meaning that first and second get shocked and third makes it in. Yeah, gave it to Draw Bowser, and see that immediately pulls him up to the lead. Classic shock point right here. This one is actually pretty easy too, because you can watch their heads actually speed up just a slight second when they hit that speed boost. But of course, you're going to need to do the shock right before then so that they can just twirl off and fall off into that hole. This is another predictable shock point, and should only be done towards, if you get it last minute lightning at the end of the third lap, simply because it's going to be better and more advantageous to shock people in the cannon as opposed to right there. But see, I got Daisy there, and it puts them forward as well. So that one, just a place where it can be done. I think here I do, not sure, let's see what shock this is. This is a first player shock. Nope, third again. Gave it to Toad. So that just shows you that when to do it when first and second already come out and you're giving it to third. And that pulled Toad right on up. And see, he's still up even right here toward the end of the second lap. I get nailed, so I didn't get a chance to target shock him. Now I think I get hit by blue. Yeah, stupid pewter. But the main trick is just seeing and knowing when to shock them when they're coming over these hills and over the ledge. But in the heat of race, you can't just really stop and take a closer look to see what everybody else is doing. So you got to get used to doing it while you're actually racing as well. This is a last-minute shock. Watch how close I cut it for first place. See, that is the best way to shock it if you're going to target shock everybody else other than first place, because that gives him the maximum amount of time that everybody else is still little and he is still in first and big. So that one is a hair biter, or nail biter rather. Now if you get a shock you don't know what to do with it, just go ahead and shock them on this little wavy bridge, because people get stuck on it and they can't do nothing. They just bounce up and down trying to do their sit and boost and they just don't go anywhere. So that's just a last minute type shock. Not a recommended one. The Grumble Volcano, this one's a little sloppy because there's so many spots where you can target shock people. I go into better detail on the end of the third lap, but if you watch where they're going up here, this first drop right there, that's an example of one that puts you back instead of forward, like it does to Mario. And I get Mario again right here. So you shock him there, and then it puts him back, so he loses speed instead of being put forward onto the next portion. What's interesting is on the other side of that area, if he falls into that hole right there as he's passing it, it puts him forward. So the first one puts him back and the second one puts him forward. Alright, where those clump of people are, all those little gaps and all, those are tough to nail at any point. And I'm going to show you in the third lap what it looks like when you're shocking people and you're actually there to see it. See, I keep getting Mario, I keep trying to do it both online and one player mode, and I can't nail them. And then again up there at that one I was getting Mario at a moment ago. See, I got Bowser on the second one, and it put him forward where Toad is. So he gained speed. Even though he got shocked off, he still got ahead slightly. So if you're going to shock him on that port, it's going to be better to do it at the first one. It's actually slightly easier, too. Alright, watch Bowser down there. See, he got put back after getting shocked there. I just got lucky with that one. But if they get shocked on that area, anywhere in those little islands, they get put back. So that one, they don't really gain anything until the very end. And it's the last gap that puts them forward. See, Bowser and Luigi almost got put back in the same spot when they got zapped. See, and then they got put forward that time. Alright, this one I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're on those little islands and you're shocking people left and right. And it's really hard to time shocking these people, and you'll see why. Because, well, obviously the islands are moving, and you never know when they're going to be closest to the island. Like right there, if you shocked them on that part, they're going to slide over to that island. But when it moves, if you shock them right there, they're going to fall off. So that one's really hard to nail, and I probably wouldn't recommend that one. I really don't have a very good recommendation for a shock point other than that maybe that first one or coming out of that tunnel back there that those people are coming out of. But see, you shock him here and watch him spin, and then he falls off right when that island is moving. And shock them. I got them both right there right when the island was moving. So if they get shocked and they're right in the middle of it, like right here, they're pretty much going to land on it. It'd have to be on the edge. But that's it. If you guys have any questions about this particular video, just see me in the chat or leave a comment on the video itself. And that's essentially it for Grumble Volcano and the Star Cup.